What is going on, guys? We are back here today. We got another discussion video. I'm not alone though. I'm here with my boy, the doctor, Professor PokeMD is here today, folks, and we're going to be doing a very important ranking video. That's right. We're here today. We're going to be talking about the top 10 returning Pokemon in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So one of my favorite things about this generation is that some of the best Pokemon are the new Pokemon, like Golden Go, Chi-Yu, Great Tusk, that kind of thing. I'd hate it when in the generation, like all the old Pokemon from the past are always the top dogs. But that being said, we still do have a ton of old Pokemon like Dragapult, Garchomp, Dragonite, and more that, you know, are
still top threats.
Yeah, exactly. Still some of the most top tier threats in the metagame today. And we figure, you know what? This is a good idea for a video. Let's rank them in OU currently and basically give our top 10. So of course I had to have Joe with me because otherwise, you know, the list might be a little too biased. You know, I might just be putting some crazy stuff at the top. And also I'm here to stop Joe from putting Primeape in the top 10 and that kind of thing. So that being said, folks, let's get right into it. Though before I go any further, you already know what I'm about to say. Go check out the Agency 2022 winter merch if you haven't already. The winter collection is here until January 6th for only 3 weeks. Thank you guys so much for the love and support. Go check that out. Go get yourself something nice, a crew neck, sweatpants, a t-shirt, whatever the case is. Make sure you tweet at me. Go follow us on IG, all that good stuff. And yeah, go get yourself something nice for the holidays. We truly appreciate the support. And let's get back to it. So yeah, we can hop right into it. So like we were saying before, so many good Pokemon came around in Generation 9 and have now just kind of defined the meta. Even defensively in the past, we used to have the same stuff, right? Ferrothorn, Toxapex, Landorus, T. All these guys ran the meta.
Everything now, there, yeah.
Yeah, and now we have different stuff like Skeledirge, you know? That's, you know, new defensive styles altogether. But
I believe there's only 14 or 15 old Pokemon in OU currently, and the rest are all new Pokemon. I could be wrong on that number, but this list is 10. And then I think the only Pokemon we don't have this list are, there's like only 4 or 5 others. Yeah. And that's about it.
That's actually amazing. I know obviously Pokemon Home has a part to play in that, or I mean the lack of Pokemon Home. But regardless, it's pretty nice. You know, I remember back in Generation 6, ORAS, only like a couple of Mons really made it into OU viability from the new generation at the time. Like it was Talonflame, Greninja, and then the most of the stuff was just stuff we used to play with, you know, back in Generation 5, 4, etc., etc. So that being said, enough intro. Let's get right into it, folks. Let's talk about the first Mon. The first Mon, I guess we'll start from the bottom, reverse. Number 10 on the list is none other than the boss himself. A Mon that has been putting in work for multiple generations, my boy Scizor. That's right. So, Joe, tell me what you think about Scizor and why it got ranked 10 on our list.
I mean, it's really good versus offense. It basically has a free bullet punch, which is crazy. With Terra Steel, its bullet punch is extremely strong. They gave it close combat this gen too.
Yeah, they gave it close combat too. A better thing than superpower, finally, right?
Yeah, you don't gotta lower your damn attack when you're using it, so it's spammable.
Yeah.
You still got a U-turn, and then quick attack actually not bad either because on the resistances you're doing like half to Chi-Yu, which is really good.
I mean,
actually,
Chi-Yu's
Terra,
one of the best mods, right? Might as well.
Yeah, Terra bullet punch is a 2-hit KO. On Chi-Yu
it does 50% to Chi-Yu. It's disgusting. You also OHKO Dragapult, for example. I think you do like 90% to Roaring Moon. Maybe. I don't know if you OHKO, but I feel like you don't.
You basically just do a lot.
Terra Steel with your Scizor is one of the most risk-free Terras to go for offensively, in my opinion. It's a really easy move to spam. It's priority, so obviously it's going first most of the time. And in general, I just really like Choice Band again. It's funny because I feel like Choice Band Scizor always comes back into prominence in the early metagame, right?
Yeah, it was really good. Like they killed Scizor defensively in this because obviously no pursuit, no roost. They killed it in the sense of the words. Like it's not actually killed.
Yeah, defensively though, Scizor always had a spot in every generation, right? And now that it doesn't have roost, it basically has lost that niche completely. Like this doesn't wall anything without roost.
We'll see how it is with home. If Lele and things end up coming back or how I know it did.
But obviously, Bullet Punch is beautiful. I thought.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I was thinking that too.
Yeah, if those
the AV is there.
Fairy types get out of hand.
Offensive Swords Dance too.
Yep, I did
isn't bad either.
That.
Just because of that, and quick attack is beautiful there too.
Plus
exactly.
Quick attack with Life Orb, it's got to OHKO Chi-Yu and that kind of thing. I feel like.
Yeah, and even then, you can also still use your Terra if you want to in that regard. Like, this set can definitely run speed and Terra fighting and OHKO Rotom at +2 with close combat.
I've only had max HP just because I took this set from a screens team.
It's a placeholder. It's not a big deal.
But you're definitely right. You can definitely go max speed, outspeed Rotom since defensive Rotom's
like
220
like you don't have to run Terra Steel on this. Like I said, you could kill multiple Pokemon, but Terra Steel is so good because you're doing like 40%. You do like 45% to Golden Go. Like, with Band.
Yeah,
that's how strong this
Banded,
mon is.
Yeah, I've seen that calc so many times. Banded, Terra Steel, Bullet Punch to Golden Go does like 42 to 45. So that thing doesn't switch in at all. A lot of times people think, oh, Scizor doesn't have knockoff anymore, and I can switch in on U-turn or close combat or whatever with Golden Go. But Terra Steel, Bullet Punch knocks Golden Go really, really hard. It can't switch in, and it can't OHKO Scizor either. So it's not really a great counter.
Love that you put this set that we
finally
fought.
Folks, I had to put the final set, U-turn close combat Bullet Punch defog. Now we played this set one time on the ladder, however it did its job and it was able to defog. I do think this set does have some type of viability. I mean, removing hazards, it's unexpected, it can still be an offensive threat. It's definitely not good, you know, I mean, it's not great either, but I mean, I don't know,
it's not good, it's not great, it's here.
It's not bad. I don't know how to explain it. I think it definitely has a purpose. You know what I mean? Like, I think the surprise factor of defog is there. I wouldn't say that this set is consistent with what it does, but I did want to give it a shout out because, I mean, in general, this thing could be annoying. Think about something like Ting Lu, right? You can bring this thing in, you turn out, maybe you get the defog on the switch, who knows? But in general, you're more than likely going to just be running Choice Bandit or Swords Dance. Scizor does its job. As we have said so many times with this metagame, guys, Hyper Offense is the leading play style. And so, yeah, it's just nice to have Scizor, strong priority mon, there to check all the other big offensive Pokemon. That's why it's deserving of, what's it called? Number 10th on our list. You got anything else to say about Scizor?
No, I'm good. Let's go to number 9. So number 9 is also another offensive threat that is just like Scizor.
Threat. You know the
came
boss.
Back. We missed it in Gen 8. We missed it in Gen 8.
Missed him so much in Gen 8. Thank the Lord, it's finally
My homie
back.
got some big buffs too.
Big buff.
All right, so they gave Breloom, right? So Breloom got access to close combat now, right? So it has an incredible fighting stat. Before it only has superpower. It also has access now to Bulldoze, which is really good with Technician. It's 90 base power.
I have Rock
and
Tomb
it
here on the
basically
Choice
can,
Band set,
yeah.
But we can definitely, that was something we were always going to say. You can slash Bulldoze or Rock Tomb. It really just depends on your team. Both are amazing.
And it also has Gunk Shot too, which is a pretty cool thing. Like when Clef comes back, or like
true.
For OHKO and Hatterene, and you with hazards up, you 2-shot Amoonguss. Like it's not a bad option on this Pokemon.
Definitely something cool, especially when Home comes back. We'll see what fairy types return. Who knows? Maybe you'll need to smoke Bulu in one hit. Like literally, you never know. Damn, this thing really does have some amazing moves. But close combat definitely being the biggest win that it got, past Bulldoze, past whatever. Just because now it's really hard to wall Breloom. Like Choice Band Breloom is almost the mainstay set. People love Sash just because Sash Breloom is like a consistently annoying Pokemon. Spores does a lot of damage. If you spore and the Pokemon stays asleep for long enough, then you know you're getting up Swords Dance and that kind of thing. Joe
I really like Bulldoze on Sash though. Oh yeah,
this Terra Fire set. Spore. What did you have? Spore. Did it have Spore?
No, I just had Swords Dance.
Swords Dance.
Because it lures in like Amoonguss and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you Terra Golden Go too.
Oh yeah, Golden Go. You can catch
you
on the
don't even
switch.
you don't even have to run. Sometimes they run Life Orb or Leftovers too. Like you don't have to have Focus Sash because you'll live a hit.
Really nasty.
Yeah, you'll live a hit from Golden Go, especially because they'll make it rain versus you. And
you
your fire, you resist.
You need Sash to. Oh! You mean if you turn Fire type, you'll live?
Yeah, you always turn Fire.
Oh, that's nasty.
You'll live, make it rain, and then you knock them out Terra Blast. Yeah, you knock out Corviknight, you knock out Lucas.
When I use Breloom, I've only ever really used Terra Fighting just to get the super strong mock. But I like
resist
Terra
ice
Fire.
or beat to ice. Excuse me.
That's kind of heat. But
no, dude, the Choice Band with Mach Punch is insane. During the Palafin meta, this is Palafin number 2.
This was literally Palafin number 2. Turn him into Terra Fighting. It's the same thing as Scizor, just even stronger. I loved this mon like the most, just because when I played all those defensive cores, I clearly remember Clodsire would always switch in and take like 57 from close combat.
Yeah.
And then if they go Corviknight takes 59 from close combat. And so
that's
there are
the
no
big thing about
switches
Bandit.
to this thing.
There's no,
you don't even need to waste time using Spore. Spore is one of the best moves of all time. You don't even have to waste your time clicking it.
Yeah, usually it'd be a slash on Bandit, but you don't even need to.
Exactly.
There's literally no point.
You might as well just go for your attack move. More often than not, going for Spore is a waste of time when you can just knock whatever out. Is like you can knock anything out with the appropriate coverage move most of the time.
Because Hatterene's so common too. Like you're not going to be able to do anything.
Exactly.
Just go for bullet season and close combats.
A good candidate of Terra into its stab as well is just really nice. Rock Tomb versus Bulldoze is tough. I do think Rock Tomb all around is an easier move to spam, but Bulldoze is awesome just because Golden Go is the most used Pokemon. So yeah, I don't know. Bulldoze is definitely really good. I think I like Bulldoze on Sash a lot too. Personally,
yeah, I think Bulldoze is alright. I don't know too many ways you need Rock Tomb because D-Knight like takes like 30% from close combat.
I don't know. I guess I just like Rock Tomb as a mid ground. Plus, it's not contact, all that kind of thing. I guess the thing with Bulldoze is like it can be switched into by flying types, which already wall Breloom. So that's the
To an extent, not really. There's not a lot of flyers in this tier that wall Breloom.
There's D-Knight.
Because they're all neutral, and I told you that bullet takes like 30%, bro. That's a lot from close combat. Dude's multi-scale broken. It makes a difference.
For sure. Yeah. For sure. In general, I don't think Breloom really has any switch-ins, like at all.
I just think people aren't using it as much. They use more Sash than they use Bandit right now.
I agree with you. I see a lot more Sash than I see Life Orb or Bandit. I think they're underrating how good it is defensively. Like, I don't know. I feel like I get really scared every time I see a Breloom. If this thing comes in and then Ting Lu, like if I had a Breloom and I ran into a Ting Lu team, I feel like I could get a lot of kills off of Breloom.
Yeah, especially when we don't have Vital Spirit Primate. Like, it makes a big difference in our gameplay.
For sure.
That month.
But yeah, that being said, guys, Breloom in the 8th spot, very deserving of it. So happy this mon is finally back. The Agency Breloom, classic. Let's go to number 8 on the list. We have none other than Torkoal, our favorite turtle. This guy gets the job done. Torkoal, did you ever expect to think that this guy would be in a top 10 list in OU?
I think this mon enables so many Pokemon, so it's actually, makes sense.
For sure.
Like, it's literally it's glue. It's like the glue. It's
super glue. It's that super Elmers.
Legit, bro.
You ain't never seen anything like this.
This is the type of stuff Blunder used to snort in middle school, bro.
Yes,
like
high school,
Torkoal right
college, tomorrow. Yes, yeah.
You look at Torkoal's nose, bro. That's Blunder right there.
Right.
But yeah, go for it.
We got Torkoal here, right? I gotta pull up all these Protomons, right? We got Great Tusk, Roaring Moon, Brute Bonnet, Shocks, Screamtail,
Slitherwing's the big one.
Slitherwing is a really fun one.
Same thing with Screamtail. Screamtail, the fact that Sun Balance is back is crazy to me.
Yeah, it is crazy because you can throw Screamtail on Sun, which I think is one of the best mons for Sun. You guys have seen how many times I rock the Screamtail Sun. I've laddered with it and streamed with it quite a few times. Where's my Scream Sun? Where's my Scream Sun?
You have it though. You've used it a lot.
There we go.
Yeah.
But
like the point, and he has like a variation without Armor Rouge.
But look at this team, for example, guys. This Sun team, right? We have Torkoal in the front here. My boy Toga Khan gave me this team. We have 3 very easy to fit mons on Sun. Roaring Moon, Great Tusk, which is obviously going to be the rapid spinner for a Sun team regardless, and then Screamtail, which is there for some defensive utility, specifically versus Dragons. When Sun was an important playstyle back in Generation 5, which is the last time it was really dominant, Dragons were always the biggest threat to Sun. Now we got shit like Screamtail that can own Sun, and the big thing is all 3 of these with Photosynthesis get the ability boost every time the Sun is up. So it makes it very easy for something like Torkoal to be a completely worth a slot on your team, because all these Protomons already have 570 BST, making them some of the strongest mons in the metagame, right? And then they get a +1 on top of that. These go well over 600 then in that case.
Yeah, if you replace this Armor Rouge with literally anything,
you can make Armor Rouge literally whoever you want. You can make a Slitherwing, you can make whoever. This is just a fun slot.
Well, you make it a ground resist, but yeah.
Oh, then Slitherwing is fine then. That's good on resist.
Yeah.
I actually brought this team with Slitherwing over Armor Rouge in a tournament versus my boy Solwyn. And yeah, just the power of Torkoal to enable this stuff is just really, really nasty. Sun is just a really strong style.
Torkoal in general didn't change. It just, like, if you want, you can Terra Fighting or Terra Flying.
Yeah,
I have Terra Fighting for the body press. Yeah, Terra Fighting for body press, Terra Flying. I've seen Terra Water as well, which is interesting.
Terra Water is pretty cool. I haven't seen that, but I understand why they would have that.
Took less than 20% from Hydro Pump from Rotom-Wash in the Sun, which is really nice.
Very nice.
But yeah, so it's a big enabler. Like, it's really good. I think the cool thing is also, like, FizzDev Torkoal is still really good with Yawn. I love Yawn right now because you can switch it on Dragonite DDing twice, 8 the hit, Yawn.
Yup, agreed.
4 switches.
I've been running Spadef myself with Body Press, usually, just because, you're able to trade into Chi-Yu. Dark Pulse doesn't kill you, and Body Press does like 80 back.
Also, Iron Valiant. You tank 2 hits from it, no matter what.
You tank Valiant really nicely. Oh yeah, because when you're Spadef, the FizzDef eats CC like it's nothing, and then it's actually pretty decent. Pure Fire typing is kind of nice too. The only thing I don't like about Torkoal is that Skeledirge comes in and then starts packing you up
for free. Yeah, that's the big thing. And it doesn't take Stealth Rock. It doesn't take Stealth Rock either.
It doesn't take Stealth Rock. All you can do is Yawn, but at the cost of what? If you take 2 Torch Songs or a Hex, Torkoal doesn't have recovery. That's the one hard part about Torkoal. It's extremely hard to keep this thing healthy. I like using it with Screamtail because you can wish support, but in general, being weak to rocks, we're in a very hazard-focused meta, all that stuff, it makes it kind of difficult to use Torkoal now and then. However, it's never been easier in the same sense, just because all you have to do is bring Torkoal in and then switch out and go to your Photosynthesis mons to get the most mileage. But my favorite set is definitely Spadef.
8 turns is so much, dude, for a Scarf
so
Chi-Yu.
Right? Especially
for a
Chi-Yu,
it's insane.
Yeah. And or you have
like that mod has no resist. Yeah,
Chi-Yu is already broken. And then Scarf's, It's like a scarf and a specs. You got fucking Roaring Moon comes in, gets the if you have choice band, then you can lower the EVs, give it the +1 speed from booster. Just the possibilities are endless. I wanted to ask you, what do you like more, especially defensive or physically defensive? And do you like yawn more or body press?
If I'm phys def, I always like yawn. I just think it's the emergency check to D Knight is amazing.
I like that a lot too. Agreed.
If Spid def, yawn is all right. I still like body press more on Spid def just because you can actually hit Chi-Yu for a 2-hit KO. But yeah, I mean, I've gone no spin on it, which has been the one I've had the most success with, actually.
It is very hard to keep Torkoal as like a reliable spinner.
Yeah, unless you run boots. And if you run boots, you're not running Heat Rock, so you're really not using the most out of Torkoal. This mod's so good, though.
I also want to give a special shout out to Torkoal that this thing is able to check King Gambit pretty well.
Yeah.
But yeah, defensively, he does the same thing he did before, too, being a pure fire type, checking the steals. In a panic situation, you'll be able to use this to beat Valiant, Scizor, all that kind of stuff. And for that reason, it was definitely deserving of 8th on our list. It's cool to see Sun is finally back. That's basically like the bottom line to me. All right, so 7th, here we go. We got none other than Big Hat, who has
crazy how good this mon is, man.
From Gen 8. Who would have thought? Get rid of Heatran, get rid of Melmetal. Now this mon is overpowered. We are here with Hatterene. Joe, tell me what you think about Hatterene. We've been using it quite a bit.
I mean, it's good, dude. It's one Pokemon. And this is the reason why Glimmora should run Sludge Wave. But it's literally. It's the one mon that like can actually stop Tinglu from spiking, which is amazing. Unless Tinglu's running Heavy Slam, which I actually think is good because it knocks out Iron Valor.
I've seen a couple of Terra Steel or Terra Flying Heavy Slam versions, and it totally owns Hat.
But yeah, Hat's really good right now just because I mean it's really hard to get rid of hazards, and it's really hard to deny hazards too. Especially because of the stupid way Rapid Spin plus Glimmora's ability works.
Yeah,
like it spins, sets them up, gets rid of them, and then does it like what?
Glimmora's really annoying in general.
Yeah. So just Hatterene being able to stop the hazard setters, and the fact that obviously Golden Go is there to stop defog, they're just a really strong combo together. Period.
Hat
and they also
Golden
allow you
really
to dominate.
Annoying.
Yeah, they allow you to dominate. I love this mon so much. It's actually so bulky right now too. There's no like Kartana or anything that really no Melmetal like you said.
All the big steals besides Scizor have kind of fallen off, right? I mean, you have Golden Go, as we talked about before, but that kind of leads into how Hat's one of the better Terra abusers, right? You turn it into pure water after you get +1.
That's it.
And then how do you kill them?
Water's so good, and you don't.
Nobody's running that Spec Sandy Shock.
There's no like Iron Hands isn't running around that much. Like,
yeah, exactly. Iron Hands isn't getting ran like that to begin with, so it's tough, right? It's very tough to I think it's very tough to force this thing out once it turns into the pure water type. And regardless, you still have great immunities. I mean, and resist with Psychic Fairy, right? Like this thing, it's still able to check Roaring Moon pretty well. Still, with the natural bulk, is able to tank D-Knight. It has a lot of good support options. My favorite set is Calm Mind 3, personally.
Oh, I think Calm Mind 3 is the best.
Because I hate Golden Go coming in for free. I always want to hit that thing with a Mystical Fire. I know that's prediction focused, but I mean, more often than not, they're going to go to Golden Go.
Mystical Fire is free anyway.
Right?
Like,
and I mean, because every time I have a Hatterene, in my head, I'm thinking the opponent's either going into their Chi-Yu or Golden Go, because that's what I usually do. So Mystical Fire covers both of those. So that's why I like Mystical Fire. But Nuzzle is definitely good. This eject button set we used earlier today. Again, physically defense oriented, just so I can take those hits, keep hazards off from Garchomp.
Yeah, you can use eject button Calm Mind too. It's just obviously not as great, but eject button's nice because you don't like lose anything when the hazard hitter attacks you.
Eject button is definitely better on those offensively inclined teams like Screens, Palmot, that type of thing, as opposed to Calm Mind, which is definitely better on the bulkier teams because it has like a support role for the rest of your team as well. That's what I would think, at least, for the most part.
It's really nice too. You can run stored power in it as well.
This set I've used a couple times. Nuzzle, stored power, Calm Mind. This set is really nasty because you nuzzle Dondozo, you nuzzle Dirge, and then also
you pray for Paras and you beat them.
Yeah, you literally pray for Paras and you beat them, but you do beat them because you know how horrible this game is, right? So that's really
you Terra Water and then Torching Song doesn't do that much.
This set under Screens can be really, really nasty. Just stored power just lets you beat like opposing Calm Mind shits, and it's a good set in general. I've also had some good success with max special attack Hat, which is really damn strong. It hits 408 special attack with Modest, so I got to give a shout out to that set as well. Just the sets that I've been using the majority wise are all physically defensive, just because Hat's main purpose right now is just keeping hazards off.
But some Trick Room teams run that with Revival Blessing as well. On the other mon, this one having Healing Wish. Healing Wish plus Revival Blessing is a nasty combo.
Super nasty combo. It's just Revival City. You out here with 10 Pokemon. Very cheap.
Literally our first game of the private video that we did.
Pokemon, but I digress. That being said, Hat is an amazing
Speaking of
Pokemon.
super honest and very, very humble, Grimmsnarl
Yes,
is
let's
the
keep it
next
pushing.
Pokemon on the list. Very, very,
Grimmsnarl.
very honest, very faithful
Yes,
Pokemon.
very faithful. He's never betrayed anybody, never cheated on anybody. Let me tell you something about Grimmsnarl. Let me tell you about something about this Pokemon. This is the epitome of no skill. This Mon has done our metagame a disservice, folks. Why have they given this beast parting shot, right?
I'm so happy.
This is such a crazy move to give it. So the only two Grimmsnarls anybody uses are screens. I've only actually used Spadef. Have you used a physically defensive one yet?
No.
I think Spadef is just better in general for tanking the fire move.
Yeah, I've seen Sucker Punch, by the way, over Spirit Break for Golden Go because you can't parting shot out.
That's actually not bad. That's actually not bad.
Yeah, you do like half.
Gotta do more than half probably even because Grimm's attack is really high. 120 is not bad at all. And Grimm with max Spadef is actually pretty decent. 394 HP, 273 Spadef. But yeah, guys, Grimm got access to parting shot now, so that means that it has another tool to take advantage of Prankster. All 4 of its moves on the most commonly used set are boosted by Prankster, so you don't have to worry about speed or anything like that. This thing is just as annoying as it used to be. Light Screen, Reflect, Taunt, Parting Shot. This thing alongside Cyclizar, Revival Blessing, Hatterene. We don't really got to tell you what this does. If you've played any OU ladder, you've ran into this thing. Paired up with the bicycle shed tailing around, and it is the most frustrating thing to run into.
It's kind of just crazy that this Pokemon is as good as it was in VGC last gen, because this is one of the oppressive Pokemon in VGC just because its screens were so nasty. So it's crazy to see how, this Mon was also good during Dynamax meta when it first was around, because it also had Gigantamax itself. But it's crazy to see Grimmsnarl come back. I feel like it also is a Mon that comes during the beginning of the meta, then just falls off wherever it is.
I agree with you
it's a Pokemon that has insane attack and has really good moves, but it just doesn't do it.
I mean, this typing is also incredibly good. Dark
Fairy is amazing.
This shit is, 4x Dark Resist, especially in a metagame where everyone's spamming Crunch, Dark Pulse, and all this other bullshit. How could you, and Pult is all over the place too. Grimm's typing will forever be amazing, no matter what, I think. No matter even where the metagame goes. I mean, obviously right now it's better because we don't have Cart, Magearna, any of that bullshit. So it's easier for Grimmsnarl to get away with what it's doing. But yeah, obviously we got to give a shout out to Spirit Break as well. The big target with this move is all of the dark types that want to come in on this. Because usually Grimmsnarl, if it is running this Light Screen, Reflect, Taunt, Parting Shot set, it is completely walled by dark types as they are not affected by Prankster moves. So stuff like Chi-Yu could scare you out, or Chi-Pao or Roaring Moon could set up on you. But if you have Spirit Break, you're able to crush all 3 of those. So I really do like Spirit Break a lot too. What do you think?
Yeah,
do you
it's
like
nice.
Spirit Break or Parting Shot?
So I've been liking Parting Shot a lot because, if they have a Golden Go, you just hard switch anyway.
That's how I feel too. I feel like if you have screens up, you don't really worry about hard switching because
if you have screens, you go Annihilate on every attack.
That's exactly. If you have screens up, it doesn't matter because you're always gonna have a Volk or a Tusk or an Annihilate, and all of these guys under screens can live whatever move the opponent's throwing out. You just have to go to the right one. You know what I mean? It's just too easy, too damn easy.
But it's good. It's good. It's really easy to use and it's really good. Speaking of really easy to use and really good, we were thinking that the Roost nerf would be really bad for Corviknight, but honestly,
it's not the transition by the doctor. I didn't even know where we were going with that, folks. That concludes our Grimmsnarl segment.
Yeah, I'm in control. I'm in control.
I'm in control. Is crazy.
Control I'm in control.
I'm in control.
I'm in control.
Let me know in the comments below if you're in control right now. Joe
be in charge of your life, bro. Be in charge of your life. Agency. Ooh. But it's crazy that we thought that Roost APP would be super, super crazy and limiting for Corviknight. And I will be honest, there are definitely games where versus an offensive Great Tusk or a banded Great Tusk, the 8 Roost do feel very limiting, right? Because I have Roost equal to how many attacks they have. But Corviknight just does it again. It literally has been doing it again. It's freaking amazing. And do you have the bulk up set too? I actually think bulk up.
I actually have not used bulk up. I can put it on though, of course. You recommend bulk up?
I've used Sub Roost with bulk up. It's pretty nice.
Leftovers, right? Sub, Roost, bulk up, Brave Bird or Power Trip?
It's just Brave Bird.
And then Terra Flying?
Terra Flying, Terra Water works too if you want to beat Volcarona. You can also use Terra Flying. I think Terra Flying is best though. Terra Flying is best just because you take neutral and you resist the grass Giga Drain. Obviously they can't hit you with that, but Yeah, I've done some speed on this thing. I've done some.
Speed-wise, you
been
could go
using,
like
yeah, I've been using Storm Zone
70%.
teams when I do this.
Heard you. I haven't used. I actually haven't used a setup Corviknight like that, but I totally understand what
I've done
this thing
Terra
can
Grass
do.
too.
Also, this thing, if you could use Mirror Armor and you do use Bulk Up, you destroy Golden Go because they can't Spidef drop you. Also, Spidef Corviknight, a lot of people don't know because everyone runs Fizz Def, but Spidef Corviknight takes like 29 from Shadow Ball, from Scarf Golden.
Yeah, it literally takes nothing.
Shit. Yeah,
it's just hard to run Spidef because you need a Chien-Pao check.
The worst part is this guy barely even beats Chien-Pao, but it just barely does it. You know what I mean?
But if it's Adamant Choice Band, it doesn't. It literally comes in.
If it's Choice Banded, you're fried.
No, specifically Adamant Choice Band, because Jolly Choice Band, it just misses out on the KO.
With Ice
but Adamant Choice Band
does Crash also?
Crash
again,
might.
Crash hitting 2 crashes is kind of risky.
Yeah.
But then again, if you're running Adamant Band, you should be running Spinner for the most part. Crash is
I think you always run Spinner.
Crash is best on boots because you need to hacks through because you're weak. But Banded more often than not can just go for Spinner.
I love on Banded, you run Ice Spinner, Ice Shark, Crunch, and then Sacred Sword usually.
Yeah.
And like this mon, if you Terra into a Fizz Def Corvi, you're still doing like 70-something%. It's insane how strong that mon is. So, but regardless, sorry about that.
No, you're good. Regardless.
Yeah, regardless, Corviknight is still an insane, it's an insane, little mon that can just come in and really just pivot on everything, right? You pivot on the rapid spins, get the Rocky Helmet chip. You pivot on
it's one of the only answers to Tusk. You know,
literally.
I mean, Body Press in general is a good move, right? Because we have all these dark types being spammed in general. It's one of the only real ground immunities alongside Rotom-Wash and Dragonite. Dragonite, which doesn't count because it's an offensively inclined mon for the most part. So Corv is really one of the sturdiest ground immunities in the entire game. One of the only 3 for the most part. So it definitely has a good purpose in this metagame.
One of the few that can beat D-Knight is
literally.
crazy.
We've been running Iron Defense a lot just because you're able to bring this thing in and kind of have a win con as a result. U-turn is nice because you can have your momentum early game, keep it on a bulky offense or just a straight up offense team. And Iron Defense, so that late game, this thing works as the best possible counter to Dragonite. So it can't get +6 on you. Also, you can set up along Chien-Pao or whatever the case might be. Iron Defense in general just makes it so Corv does beat a lot of mons that would normally beat it.
Yeah, I just hate when I can't touch things that I would rather Brave Bird.
Oh,
just for the initial.
I just remember something. You need Iron Defense 100% for that dude King Gambit, because if he Terras, you're screwed. So you need Iron Defense for King Gambit. That's another one that it's really mainly for.
Yeah. Otherwise, because King Gambit's the type of mon that looks like it's Assault Vest, Choice Band, Life Orb, and Leftovers at the same time.
And then he just turns into a Fairy type, and regardless, you're doing 5%. So
you need to beat that.
Yeah. But yeah, I have the mixed defense set too over here, which is just some Spidef EVs. Honestly, I mean, this set is decent for taking Moonblast and Shadow Balls a lot easier, but this set is a lot. You really do notice the lack of physical defense EVs when you take Crunches, Ice Spinners, and that type of thing.
When they're doing 50.
Literally, yeah. You really notice the difference between 339 defense stat and 319. So that being said, I will always recommend physically defensive. Of course, a Golden Go is around, so defogging is difficult. But that being said, Corv is one of the best defoggers regardless of Golden Go. Plus, this thing can roost up on the Golden Go switch and always get the free U-turn. Nobody's running T-Bolt or Specs on their Goldens, so...
I think T-Bolt was a lot more common early meta when Palafin plus Corvi was around and everything, so I used to like it for Corviknight specifically.
Yeah, Corv is a solid mon. I mean, defensively, does the job it's always done. Bulk up is still around, definitely an option. Good abilities.
Isn't it crazy how good Rotom is without Pain Split and Defog at the moment?
Yes,
Like, it's literally the beginning of the metagame again. Like, that this mon is still super strong.
Big Rotom. This is crazy, right? How can Rotom be number 4 on our list? I remember on my stream when I was making my first team, people were laughing because I was freaking out. I was like, dude, no Pain Split, no Toxic, no Defog. How do I even use this trash anymore? And lo and behold, it's top 4 on our list, right?
Literally still good. Like, I mean, this one right here, right? Rotom goes back to its roots and turns back into a ghost because it allows it to beat E-Speed Dragonite. Since they can't touch you with Earthquake, they're going to E-Speed you.
You also
and
completely
Ice Spinner
own that, what's it called? Stupid Tusk. Because Tusk, unless it has Knock, but if it doesn't have Knock, you completely own Tusk as well when you turn to a ghost type.
Which is great. Willow Hydro, I've seen bulky versions of it too, but offensive Rotom's actually pretty good. Yeah, offensive Scarf Rotom's still pretty decent in my opinion.
Yeah, underrated for sure, because I mean, the special attack stat's always been great when it's firing off a strong ass move like Pump. There's no Magic Guarders in the tier, which we always talk about when we're using Will-O-Wisp Pokemon, you know, when we're laddering and whatnot.
Strong as hell. It's just really depressing when you use defensive Rotom and Tinglu takes like 26 after leftovers.
That's why I like offensive, so I can do 35 instead of 26.
Yeah, 26, you know, nice little after leftovers, of course. But I love defensive Rotom now too, especially because you run like what, Terra Steel, typically.
Yeah. I have a
or Fairy.
This is one I was running with Terra Steel, Thief, Citrus Berry. This set is something that I think people should be hip to, because you know he doesn't have recovery anymore, right? So Citrus Berry, you still get a good amount of HP back. You know, we used to run Iapapa Berry on Rotom and Landorus T back in Generation 7. And that was really good for these offensive teams. So I've had a couple of games where Rotom-Wash would have its Citrus Berry eaten up, and then I'd be able to thief on whoever. So I had one game where I thiefed on Clodsire, took its leftovers, stole something's boots, all different types of things. And I mean, it's like a pseudo knockoff to a degree, you know?
Not bad at all.
So yeah,
that's not bad at all.
Thief is something that I really do think is awesome, and something that I think people should try out. But Fizz Def, for the most part, if we're not running Scarf, we're running Fizz Def. And
yeah, and they run Protect. Terra Fairy or Terra Steel if you need a Dragonite answer for your team.
I really like Terra Steel, though. I really like Terra Steel.
For Iron Valiant as well, it's good. I'm talking about even on the Protect set. Like, I like Protect Steel. Good for an Iron Valiant, like pseudo check on the Specs, Moonblast.
Yeah, you can switch it on Specs Moonblast at least, and you can pivot at least once. You know, that way.
I saw Janvad use Nasty Plot with Volt Switch, Hydro, Willow. It seemed really interesting, but then I was thinking, well, all the mons that you're supposed to beat with boosting have Unaware. Yeah. So I don't know how I feel with it. Like, you know, that Dondoza, you're not going to be doing more. You're not going to be doing more to Skeletors. You're not going to be doing more
will still beat you if it Terras.
Yeah, exactly.
Claude will also still beat you, so.
That was interesting. I don't think it's the meta game for it personally, but it's interesting to see. It's good versus Corviknight, which I think
is the same kind of like core. Not that they're the same thing, but that ground immunity is such an important thing. And it'll always be that way until Home comes out, because we just don't have enough Pokemon that are able to beat all the ground types. This thing's also immune to spikes, which is huge in the hazard heavy metagame. And just still has amazing support options, right? Even look at these three sets. Trick, Wisp, Thief. I mean, all three have Wisp, obviously, but yeah.
Yeah, they're all the same. It's the damn same Pokemon. It's DVP doing the exact same thing over and over and over.
He just does it so damn good. You know, it's funny. I was talking to Fussweb Gaming, and he was like, dude, I saw something and it was a Rotom Heat and it teared into a Rotom-Wash, and I'm like, dude, there's no way. How can Rotom Heat turn into Rotom-Wash now? And I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, they've gotten out of hand, bro. They've gotten out of hand. With that being said, let's move on into our big three. The big bronze medal is going to none other than Garchomp.
But before we get into big three, I do want to say that we don't have Volcarona and Amoonguss on this list because they're boring, but they're definitely top 10 Pokemon.
Yeah. Good call.
I want to say that.
Amoonguss and Volcarona are more likely than not probably top 10. Volk is probably top 10, but Volk's like boring. And I didn't really know where I wanted to put it. But if I was going to put Volk on here, folks.
I put it in the top 5.
Could you put it top 5?
Easily.
I'd probably put it right around Grimmsnarl, so right out of the top 5, just because I like the other guys a little bit more. But yeah, Volk is without a doubt like top 5, top 6. And then Amoonguss is top 10. Amoonguss is a lot more arguable, I'd say. Still a great Pokemon, but definitely more arguable. But Volk is for sure.
It was better during Palafin meta.
Yeah. Amoonguss was definitely better during Palafin meta. It's very easy to take advantage of now. It's still wall stuff, but it still can't spore for shit. Golden Go still has 33% usage. Chi-Yu and Chiampao still run all over on this bitch. So Amoonguss is it's a debatable option, but definitely a possible top 10. So those are our honorable mentions. That being said, big bronze Garchomp. So they gave this man spikes. Every generation Garchomp gets new shit, right? Last gen it got Scale Shot to make it into the most demonic Swords Dance sweeper of all time. Gen 7, it got Z moves, right? So that it could go with either Rockium or Dragonium and turn into a really nasty sweeper. And now this generation, bro uses spikes to become one of the most annoying hazard setters of all time. So
literally, dude, with Rockium and Ruskin, it's so annoying. That's why people are running protective.
Right? Yeah, early meta.
That's why people are running protective pads on their Great Tusks now.
Yeah, dude, I had that in a tournament actually. Protective pads versus on Great Tusk, just because this shit is so damn annoying. You spin, you take 27%. You lost.
Yeah, dude, I knocked off and spun a Garchomp last night, and I was like, damn, I'm at 100%. This is nice.
Exactly. You don't have that. They EQ once, now you're at 30. You're like, I lost. I literally am so
screwed. Literally. They just get up all hazards versus it. So, like, yeah, Rough Skin Rocky Helmet is beautiful.
It'll never be bad. Rough Skin Rocky Helmet will never be bad, especially right now because people are not giving pads the respect it deserves.
It's not my favorite spiker, though, currently. I like Tinglu and I like Glamora. I think they're better spikers because they actually can sit on Hatterene if they need to, or can threaten it if they need to.
Yeah.
Whereas Garchomp does
Ting
nothing.
Lu can actually be annoying for Hat depending on the set.
Yeah, if it's a more offensive, I mean, because Earthquake does around 40 almost depending on the set, so it doesn't get that much back with Draining Kiss just because even though it has max HP, like that dude has like no much back. But
yeah,
I love this Garchomp set just because it weakens and it checks like King Gambit, just like it used to check Bisharp back in the day.
It's so bulky. Like for example, this lives Moonblast from Valiant, non-specs obviously, but it lives it very, very easily. Scarf Chi
Dragon Tail's annoying too.
Does like 49 to 50, so I think with the minimumest of rolls, it doesn't do a KO, but of course.
Yeah, I think the big thing is too, if the opponent has like a Corviknight on their team and you have a Golden Go, which you should always run with a Spike Setter.
For sure.
When they go Corviknight on this thing, they usually U-turn, so they'll be taking the Rough Skin Rocky Helmet. The Stealth Rock upon switch it. The Rocky Helmet.
If they U-turn on this shit, it's game over.
They come back bro, because look, this is what happens. You set up Stealth Rock, right? Corviknights are all running Rocky Helmet for the most part. So they come in, they come in at 86. They leave at 55, and they come back in at like 40 something. No, so they basically just lost.
Super fried because Rocky Helmet plus Skin is 27. Rocks is 12.5. That shit comes back in. It has lost 40% from the time it first came in. So Chomp in general is just really, really nice with Helmet. The speed stat is amazing too. Faster than Chi-Yu by just a little bit. Chomp has always had really troll speed, right? 102. Just fast enough to take care of the other guys. So this is probably the most used set currently. Sorry, what'd you say?
I really wish they gave it Ice Spinner.
Can you imagine? They gave him Liquidation, so you have to settle for that. Because he's a shark.
Which would be cool when I mean they had Aqua Tail, but yeah, it finally had Liquidation. Cool. It'd be nice when Landers comes back. But my favorite set is actually the second set that we have here, which is Choice Scarf. Yeah, Scarf Adamant is so nice because if you Terra, you have a super strong chance of KOing Chien-Pao from full.
Joe showed
KOing Guard.
96 to 112.
Yeah, KOing Dragapult as well. Roof Rock is guaranteed on Dragapult.
Wow.
So it's insane just how strong this mon is.
I really like this set.
Yeah, it's good. It's
like
good.
I haven't used it yet, but in my head it seems amazing because people aren't running good ground resistance in general. This is a great Scarfer. Still has, the dual stab, dragon typing.
Oh yeah, I love it too because when Garganacci is in front of you and tries Iron Defense up and takes 80% from the first hit, it's beautiful. Too bad they Terra Flying after and I lose, but like it's still really nice.
It's about making a statement. I completely understand, bro. I completely understand.
This is my favorite. You don't even have to run spikes on it. You could run
Dragon just because I didn't know what to put. I just like spikes because I like it if they have like a Dozo or some shit, and then you can always punish. So I figure spikes.
Oh yeah. Because the Terra Earthquake is super strong, dude. It's
right.
Like
locking into outrage seems pretty unlikely though. Like I don't see a situation where I would really outrage, but that's a panic option that you'd want to have if it came down to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I
really do like Terra Ground. I saw this set do 35 to Ting Lu with Earthquake, which is honestly a shit ton when you consider how bulky Ting Lu is, right?
Yeah, very.
Yeah. And then finally, I put an SD set. I don't know about this set. I just put it because it's Garchomp and this shit Swords Dances in every generation.
I've seen this with Terra Steel.
You seen it with Terra Steel?
Yeah.
That seems valid.
Not with Iron Head specifically, but just for take the Moonblast from the booster bro.
This is pretty cool.
Big booster. And Draco from Paul and Dragon Darts, etc. So like that's where I seen it. Yeah, it's all right. I mean, it's all right. Like you'll get the surprise kill on those. It's not gonna sleep. They got rid of Scale Shot right now, so it's not.
So using this, it's just when there's Roaring Moon and D-Knight, using this is definitely not.
Yeah,
optimal.
It's crazy that Scarf Garchomp is good again because this is the set that got it banned back in DVP. So it's nice to see it going full
It's awesome
circle.
to see it come back and it's actually decent again. Like it's like Scarf banned.
Yeah, I really like it.
You know what they say about banned Scarf combination? The Barf Chomp. All right,
Barf Chomp is disgusting. Speaking of disgusting, we got another dragon. I love how the dragons are all the way up here.
This guy, we cannot stop this guy. Every generation he spins back, and he's just as strong as he was before, if not even more strong.
Game Freak finally realized, bro, and gave him Ice Spinner.
This guy, I don't know. I don't understand, right? In Generation 6 and 7, he was good, but he was just okay after being godlike in Gen 5 and Gen 4. Now, in Gen 8, he was one of the greatest mons ever due to just one item. And now in Gen 9, bro is one of the best terastalizers of all time. We can't stop this guy, Joe. What do we do?
It's real good. It's really good.
He's the man himself.
Now, the good thing is Corviknight's still there to not give a damn.
True.
But It's definitely a good mon, and also Skeledirge and things like the unaware mons are insane.
The unaware mons will always own this guy, which is pretty nice regardless.
Yeah, like even Clodsire gets off a panic, toxic before being 2-hit KO by Earthquake. So
yeah, and
like that's good, and it's also still slower than Golden Ghost. So for the most part, people can trick and do things.
Mm-hmm.
But the big thing is like it Terra normal E speeds. Like at +1, you're if you do like around what 99% to GM pal.
So yeah, you literally do like 96 to like 99, but the shit lives. It lives though.
Yeah, it lives just barely. But like if it's banded, it's taking any spike or anything, a little bit of chip, you know, a little 2% ice shard, you're gonna kill it with +1 E speed, which is nice.
Literally.
You need Roost, I think, on a lot of them because it lets you switch into Chi-Yu, right?
Yeah, because like this is lets you do the one-time switch into a lot of things. And in general, D-Knight being at full with boots, we know this from Gen 8. This is one of the greatest mons for offense to have because, you know, you want to be able to pivot into an attack every now and then immediately and then switch out from there. And D-Knight still does that role. Fantastic.
You know what set's really good that we don't have on this list? But I've been testing it because NJMP passed it to me. But Dragonite's Encore. It got Encore this generation.
Dragonite's Encore?
Yeah, so he runs a team with T-Spike. So, like, Dondozo and stuff was coming in and cursing in front of it.
So if they cursed, then he Encore
it, and then you Dragonite's up again, and then you just do it. Damage,
and they PP stall. They struggle.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoa,
they get,
DD Encore is crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's pretty. I have a team. I'm gonna show it off in a
bit.
I'm
gonna have to try that.
It's really good.
It's so cool how much stuff like we have yet to even see in the metagame, and it has crazy.
I've seen Body Press, Hurricane, Thunderwave.
I use that Storm Zone shit. Body Press, Hurricane, Thunderwave, defensive. That's
it could be Great Tusk and stuff like that.
It beats Great Tusk. Body Press is Chi-Yu. Spreads around paralysis. Does its job very well.
Oh, show them what Fuga brought back.
Oh yeah, but yeah, guys, for the Dragonite set, they're all gonna Terra into normal. We do want to give a quick shot to Terra Fire with Fire Punch. I have seen a few of those, which is good for you know, taking out core, also turning into a Fire type, so you can take the Fairy type move. But definitely a secondary option to normal, which is more consistent all around. That's the one I want to give the full shout out to. But we do got to give a special shout out to Band, and also it's supposed to be Terra normal on Band too. My boy Alfuga brought this set back, a.k.a. Agency Wally, the greatest melee player of all time, a.k.a. defeated #1 player Zane while rocking the Agency tag. But that's a story for a different time, even though I just really told the story right here. So we got Choice Band Dragonite, folks. This is the Mon. This guy's been doing the same shit, right? He Choice Banded it up in Gen 4. He did that shit in Gen 5. Occasionally, we'd see him do it in Gen 6, and we did not see him really do it at all in Gen 7 and 8. But Joe, you tell me, man, since Gen 4 is back in your day, that battlefield, you know, back in Nam, you tell me, what were they doing back in Gen 4?
The Dragonites?
Yeah.
They were Dragon Dancing with Lumberry and Life Orb with Choice Band. Oh, they were knocking out Machamps.
They were knocking out Turn 1 Outrage. Bow! Everything would die. This is KO Metagross with Outrage, bro.
Yeah, this is the reason why, 2-hit everything. This is the reason why Machamp started running Sash Lead in DVP. Because they used to run Lumberry for Roserade to be NLEs for them. But then everybody started adapting to that with like Choice Band Dragonite, Life Orb Azelf, etc. So then Machamp started adapting to that and Specs Heatran. So Machamp adapted to that and runs Focus Sash. And it beats all of them. But this Mon, insane. It's cool to see Choice Band back.
Everyone just wants to run Dragon Dance, but you forget about how strong this shit is.
E-Speed is so good versus it's so good versus it's so good anti-offense.
This thing body bags offense, bro.
The big thing is too, Annihilate thinks it can set up on Dragonite because it can technically, right? Because it's super bulky and everything.
Yeah, it gets fried. Even if you're +1, Dragonite Outrage does like 70%. You get flipped. Like Dragonite is so strong with Choice Band. E-Speed is one of the most spammable moves. Turn it into a normal type with your multi-scale attack. You still have all your resistances or whatnot, only weak to fighting type moves. So I really do like this set a lot. Bandit is something that everyone should try if they haven't already. I think you'll be really impressed with this.
Yeah, it's just a good breaker. Like, I mean, Annihilate literally can set up in front of Dragonite because of bulk up and its high HP stats. So like Earthquake doesn't do too much after it does like 40 something.
Yeah.
But like not if you click Outrage, dude, and you're usually faster than them unless they're running the max speed set, which if they are, they'll take too much before they can set up in front of you.
It's funny.
But D-Knight easily deserves #2. And it's cool to see that the #1, top 3 are all dragons.
Top 3 are all dragons. #1, folks, we regret to inform you, no matter what, the agenda will always be pushed. He will be the best. He will go down in history as the greatest.
I still don't think it's S-rank personally, though.
Gen 15, when Gen 15 comes out, we're going to look at this and be like, yeah, he's the GOAT. But because he only got introduced in Gen 8, we do have to wait till Gen 15 for fairness. That being said, folks, Big Pult is back. The scourge of Gen 8, the most annoying Pokemon you all hated facing, is back again for more at the top of our list. Joe, tell me what you think.
Yeah, so I mean, Pult's good, right? I wasn't using specs too much, then I started using specs, and because every Corviknight's Fizz Def and all the, unless the Great Tusk or AV, it just cooks everything. I love it. I love it as my, I think Ghost is at an all-time high right now, and it's crazy because in Gen 8, Gen 8 Ghost was at an all-time high too, right?
Right?
With Pult plus Blaze and all of them.
Removal of Pursuit, the biggest thing that Ghost could ask for.
Yeah, exactly. But then Ghost gets even better this generation because of Terra. So the big things about Pult is, and I actually think on specs Terra Ghost is better because you live even specs Moonblast from Iron Valiant, and you knock it out with Shadow Ball. Yeah.
Damn.
So yeah, just as long as you're at full. As long as you're at full.
I think honestly Terra Dragon is better with U-turn last because Terra Dragon is mainly for Tinglu.
That's fair.
Yeah, but I definitely feel you on Terra Ghost. It's just a much more easy to spam stab move. Also, you can hit Corviknight instead of having a flamethrower. You're gonna 2 KO that thing easily.
Yeah, it's just an insanely strong mon, and I really like Dragapult. Bandit, a lot of people are high on that because of the Terra Blast, giving it actual
Finally, it has a
physical.
good, and this is as strong as we thought it would be. Like this is literally what we were afraid of in Gen 8 if it ever got it. That's how it feels. Like Corv comes in and takes like 49%. Dozo, Claw, Dirge, all these Pokemon, none of these are good switch-ins. This is one of the easiest moves to stab. I mean, not spam.
Stab. It's one of the easiest moves to stab.
One of the easiest stabbing moves of all time. Terra Blast is amazing.
I want to say that I've actually been running on my spec sets because I just remembered I've been running 32 special defense on specs. Well, take it from special attack.
Yeah.
Because it guarantees after Terra with Ghost. It's not that big difference, right? It's only 7 points.
Yeah.
But it guarantees with Terra Ghost you always live Moonblast from Iron Valiant.
Valiant. That's pretty
whereas cool. It's usually 87 to 103, which is still in your favor at full.
Sure. But
it
you
just
it's
guaranteed.
Might as well, yeah.
Yeah, so I like this because there's not too many calcs that like it makes a difference on because it's only 7 points.
You never know when you would need to pivot too. What if you needed to pivot, especially in this hyper offensively inclined metagame? I get it. That's pretty cool. I like Bandit the most. I like Specs a lot just because it'll never be bad to click Shadow Ball and Draco. Plus, Specs doesn't need to Terra much at all. But Bandit is so fun. It's just great being able to click darts. Fairies are at an all-time low, and even if shit does Terra into a fairy type, you're getting blown up by this Terra Blast. Nothing beats these two moves. Like, it's very satisfying. U-turn is U-turn. You can't leave without it on Bandit. And Sucker Punch is just really filler. You could really run anything.
Yeah, you can run Psychic Fangs to break screens, which is very common right now.
Somebody told me about Psychic Fangs. Also, it would own Tusk. So,
it's nice. It's a 2 KO on offensive Tusk, which is nice. Yeah, so again, Terra Blast, obviously some people don't know, but it's special there, but it changes.
Yeah, it is a physical move, non-contact, which is really nice as well, because I mean that means Pulse dual stab or non-contact, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's only 80 base power, but like it's way better than Shadow Claw, which is 70 base power. And on top of that, you get you have to Terra to use it, which is the big thing. So you're already getting the boost.
You're already getting the boost. Ghost. So it automatically feels strong as shit. It feels like Poltergeist.
It's I mean with the boost it's 160 versus 120. So.
Yeah, exactly. So it basically is Poltergeist at that point. Yeah. And then past the choice sets, I do want to give a shout out to this set. I have been using this one a lot too.
Oh, the Willow Hex.
Maybe even more than I've been using the choice sets even. But Will-O-Wisp, Draco, Hex, U-turn. This set gets the job done like no other. I sometimes run darts over Draco, and then if I have a set like that, then I usually go naive, and then I kind of drop the speed a little bit sometimes, try to up the attack. I have a bunch of different spreads for it, but more often than not, I just go with the max special attack, max speed set. But yeah, we talked about it before when we were discussing Rotom and that kind of thing. There is not a lot of Magic Guard or status absorbing Pokemon in the metagame. Pult is the fastest mon. Being able to burn everything is great. This thing is able to beat Sucker Punch mons as well because it's able to Wisp for free. It's just nice being able to spread this around. Heavy duty boost means you're not taking hazards. I really like this set. I think it's one of the best support Pokemon by far.
Terra Steel is good on it too.
Oh, you use Terra Steel?
Well, I have used it, but I stopped using it when, it didn't work this one time, but I fought an Iron Valiant and it close combat my Ghost type Dragapult. I didn't Terra Steel, but I was like, damn, I'm not using Terra Steel at all.
That happened to us today, literally, when we played. We turned into a fairy type as he close combated our Pult. Dang.
Dude, I had that
That must have been your opponent. That was probably the guy who beat you the first time.
Might have been.
Might have been. He
They didn't wait. They didn't beat me. I stayed ghost.
Oh, you won? Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry.
I stayed ghost.
There I go again, drumming up drama. My bad.
Always.
Okay. Slash to steal. I like Fairy personally just because this guy is so easy to bring in on Chi-Yu, and then Chi-Yu is like, oh shit, I have the Dark Pulse, but then I turn Fairy, and they're like, no.
The real ones just click overheat.
The real ones click overheat, but
because you live Draco Meteor regardless.
But that's why I like darts a lot too, because you totally own what's his name?
It's good versus Volcarona too.
Volcarona, and you destroy Chi-Yu. So I honestly like darts more. I have.
But you have to be careful because some
Volc
are running Wisp, dude. Yeah, you gotta be careful though, because some of them are running. Some of them are running. What's it called? They're definitely running Wisp. Like some of them, Quiver Dance Volk started running Wisp.
Yeah, I have seen that too. Quiver Dance Volk with a Wisp is very nasty. But
yeah, it's like Quiver Dance Wisp, Giga Drain.
Paul will always have so many options too, guys. You could still run Dragon Dance. Not that I think it's very good. It has options with Thunder Wave, Sucker Punch, like I had on Banded, and in general, this Mon, you know, he can hit on both sides of the spectrum. Mixed support. This is always going to be the king for the time being. When Home comes out, we'll see what punishes it, especially if Terra is still here. But yep, that's basically our list. Thank you guys for watching. We got Dragapult at the top, Scizor at the bottom, but all things considered, we would say that these guys are the strongest 10. Like we said, honorable mention goes to Volk and Amoonguss, who could unfortunately not be here with us today. But
Volk definitely deserves top 10.
Yeah, Volk, we can put Volk right like at the Hatterene Grim level, but the other guys are more swag, and they do more cool support for their team, which is why Volk did not make the cut.
We hate Volk. There's 3 Volks now, too. So.
There's 3 Volks now, so you know what? No. Highlighting the other Volks, right? That's like if we put regular-ass Donphan in here.
Which deserves it. That Mon's cool, dude.
He's so cool.
That Mon has 3
Emphasis
cool
on cool. Great personality. That's about it. Hope you all enjoyed. Drop a big like. Go check out my boy Joe. Subscribe to him. We're on the way for him to hit 315K. I'm on the road to 114K. You know the vibes. Go ahead, leave a like. Let us know in the comments below what you guys thought of the list. If there's anything you disagree with, agree with. And we will catch you guys soon. Peace.
Bye.